Well, great day, Boss Tribe. We are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Boss Moves, where we're not just talking about leadership, we are shifting cultures, we're elevating performance, and we are always showing up fiercely authentic. On today's episode of Boss Moves, we are just immensely elated to have none other than the Dr. Errick Greene, Superintendent of Jackson Public School District. Y'all, I didn't even ask him for his bio. Isn't that horrible? I didn't ask him because I'm such a fan and we followed his work so closely, y'all. He has come to Jackson Public School in Jackson and the state of Mississippi and radically transformed. Let me lean in. Radically transform what's happening, big picture vision, and then day to day what's happening. It looks different, it feels different, and the experience is different in Jackson Public School District because of this man, his transformational leadership. And what better person today to come on to discover this topic of transformational leadership? It's one thing to look at the research, it's one thing to read a textbook, but it's something different to live it in real life. Yeah. And so welcome, Dr. Greene.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So excited to have you here. Yeah. Look, we really want to do this. This is what
don't
we
do
really
it.
want.
Don't
He's like, no, don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
So before we jump into kind of your leadership style and the way that, I mean, y'all, we're going to get, he just told me they came back from Ghana a few minutes ago from spring break. We're going to get into that. But before we get to that, who are you? I'm not talking about your resume.
Yeah.
But like at your core, who is Dr. Errick Greene?
I so appreciate that question. Because so often when we leaders, when we start to answer that question, we talk about our work. Yes. I'm E.
I love it. E.
I'm E. I'm EG. I'm Errick Greene. All one word.
Yes.
Errick Greene.
Yes.
I'm Uncle E.
Uncle E. I love it.
I'm E. I care deeply about the world around me.
Yeah.
I love joy. I love laughter. I love seeing people thrive. Like that right there, it captures me to the soul. I love being a part of people thriving, communities thriving, organizations thriving. I'm pretty passionate. I can be very intense.
Yes.
In all the ways.
Yeah.
Intense about the game that's on, intense about the show that I'm watching, intense about roller skating or bike riding, or intense about my work.
Yes.
I can be intense, and for me that's just living fully.
Yes.
I try real hard to be fully present in any time and with anyone. In any space that I'm in. I know that tomorrow's not promised.
Yes.
The next hour is not promised.
Yes.
And as a middle-aged man, OMG, middle-aged. I'm middle-aged for real.
Yeah.
I'm real clear that I may have fewer years ahead of me than I've got behind me.
Yeah.
And so, I strive to be a good person.
Yeah.
I think a lot about my legacy.
Yes.
And again, not just my work.
Yes.
I think a lot about the legacy that I'll leave and the people whose lives I've touched. I know the folks who've touched me and that I think about. My dad has gone on, and so of course the impact that he's had on me.
Yeah.
But former professors and folks from church and community members, just family, friends, people who have imprinted on my life.
Yes.
And I want desperately to be that for others.
Absolutely.
And in the world. And so that's how I try to move. From the things that I enjoy, I love travel.
Yeah.
I love a good meal.
Yeah.
I love live music.
Yes.
I also just love smarts.
Yeah.
And people who show up with skill and knowledge and the folks who are rocking the world in a real way. So all of that is a part of, I think, who I am and what I'm about.
Absolutely. So speaking of this, food, what's your favorite food? That's really random, but it's
it's a hard question. I love some really good fried chicken.
Yeah.
Also, hit me up with a lamb chop and, I might be laid out for a bit. Spaghetti is always a great go-to. Pork chops, seafood. I'm all over the place.
I love it. So as someone who's not from the South, what has been your experience shifting from, outside? Because food is different.
It seems like we eat all the time.
Food is different here.
We eat all the time. Well, that's what it feels like. But yeah, I enjoy it. I don't get down with too much spicy food. Okay. So I typically have to tell folks to tone it down a little bit. But yeah, the food is, the food is coming from the soul.
Oh yeah, love.
It's
we
coming
are cooking
from
with some real
with love, for real.
We're cooking with love,
for real. Yeah, you can tell.
You can tell.
Oh, gee.
But talking about love, I truly, and I hear this loud and clear. A part of being boss, right? The part of the boss framework is how do you lead with love? We don't even going through the books in grad school, that wasn't, love didn't come up.
Right.
Feelings were, it was like, no,
right.
You just managed. But love wasn't, but like leading with love is something that you are doing, whether you see that you are loving out loud through it, it's clear.
Well, Doc, the reality is, I think for many, many years, love and emotion and all of that was seen as perhaps the antithesis of leadership.
Yeah.
Or in the very least, counter to leadership. It gets in the way. It doesn't support in any way. It doesn't advance your leadership and your ability to move people. Leadership is not, making sure that systems run. Leadership is what you do with people, with groups.
Absolutely. Leadership is what you do with people.
It's what you do with people. It's how you engage with people. Your ability to influence folks who don't have to do a thing. Yeah. Right? Because we all have choice.
Yes.
Your ability to influence folks to do something, do it differently, do it better, etc. That's leadership, and oftentimes it comes with positional leadership, positional authority, but not always. We as peers, you could lead me as a peer based on what you know, based on what you've experienced, based on just kind of how you move and your vision for the future. Maybe neither of us knows the next step that we should take, but you got a strong vision for where we want and need to go. And in that moment, there's an opportunity for you to get in my head and heart, what I like to say, get in my head and heart about the thing, whatever it is, and cause me to move differently.
I love it.
And back to the point about love, our ability to demonstrate some care and compassion, empathy, all those things for the people that we're striving to lead, the people that we're striving to impact, even beyond our team, right? The love that you demonstrate and all of that, that only bolsters your strength in influencing folks to move differently.
Absolutely.
It sounds a little trite, but that old adage, people don't care what you know until they know that you care.
For sure.
It's real.
It's real.
It's a real thing. And in a lot of instances, it's kind of the floor. People don't care what you know until they know that you care. Yeah, kind of. And like, tell me more. Yeah. Okay, you care, but tell me more. What do you care about? How do I know that you care? How have you demonstrated that you care? On and on and on.
I'll never forget, speaking of that, my first week in a school, in a transformation school, right? I was meeting the parents and all the things, and the PTO president, I will never forget this. I'm all bubbly and happy-go-lucky. Hi, great to meet you.
You probably had on a cute suit, too.
I did. I'm excited. I'm like, I'm so... I walk up to him, because I'm that girl. I'm hand out. I'm ready. He folded his arms. He said, "How long are you gonna be here?" He at the time when I first took the job, I didn't know that I was the 5th principal in 3 years. I didn't quite get all of that information, but here as a parent, that they didn't care how much knowledge I had, to change the school. It was do you care enough to stay? Right. And so I think that's just the perfect segue for you. You have cared enough to come in, and you have cared enough to stay. And so I want to talk to you about what is transformational leadership in the dictionary of Dr. Errick Greene. What is that? what role has it played in you taking, Jackson Public School District, which is, it's a very unique situation. And I always tell people, unless you've been there, you do not understand. You have no clue. It truly is this unicorn that, people like the blanket statement, but it is an urban district in the middle of the country, in the middle of, it's a very, talk to me about what it's been like for you to come in and activate who you are, bring all of who you are, because day one you brought it, okay? Just know as a young guy, look, you've been around, I was watching, I was like, oh, he coming in. Yeah. He coming in strong, and talk to us about what was that like? What is it like still with your transformational leadership journey that you are taking people on? And you said it a few minutes ago, it's this concept of, is it leadership if nobody is following along, But people are following along, so talk to me about that.
So I do want to say, kind of going back to that earlier point that you were making about your experience and the parent asking, how long will you be here? Rightly or wrongly, we operate as leaders in the space and with the history and the ghosts of leaders past. Yeah. Right?
Yes.
The great things that folks did that everybody now wants you to do, and all the horrible things that folks did that you are still paying for.
You gotta pay for it.
Right? Yeah. So there's all of that.
Yes.
And now carrying that forward to how I've tried to move and lead here. One, I was pretty clear coming in of what I needed. Yeah. What I needed from the board, what I needed from our partners, what I needed to kind of teach and coach the broader community around, because I firmly believe you teach people how to treat you.
Yes. Yes.
And so hearing all this rah-rah about, oh, well, the news used to do this, and the papers used to do that, and the da-da-da-da, and the folks would, like, listen, we ain't doing all that. We are not doing that. Yes, you have to report on the news, and you will. We're not running. When we mess up, we mess up. And we're going to name it, and we're going to own it, and we'll be the first ones to get in the news or on the, in the article to say, yes, this is something that we did or something we didn't do right, and this is how we're seeking to fix it going forward. But we're not running from these stories. Yeah. Time out for that. Yeah. We're going to own up to our stuff. We're going to devise a narrowed list of priorities for how we're going to be great. Yeah. And, for a complex organization like a Jackson Public Schools or any other school district, it's next to impossible to try to narrow your priorities, because everything is a priority to everybody.
Everything is urgent, right?
Right?
Everything.
To those few parents who have kids with that very rare disease or situation, it's urgent to them. Yes. To the parents over here who have the top kids and they have all these opportunities and their thing is urgent to them. To the basketball player, to the cheerleader, to the kid who wants to do robotics, to the kid who doesn't want to go to school, everybody's everything is urgent to them. And as a leader, you've got to support folks in acknowledging all of these really important things, but helping folks, internal folks and external folks, to understand that we can't do everything well. It's impossible. And if you want us to see any level of success, we've got to align on a few things that we're going to go hard on right now.
So, in the process of coming in and seeing, right? Because you are so data driven, but you are also you got big pictures, you got it all, right? So in the process of I hear you saying, I had to figure out, how do we narrow it in? After you figured it out, what was the driving? What do you say if you had to say there was one thing that helped you successfully get people to see the vision? Because it's one thing to have the vision in your head, right? It's something totally different to paint it in a way that other people can clearly see it.
I mean, I don't know that there's one thing. What I'll say, though, is it helped in this situation that there had already been a lot of finger pointing and naming of problems and issues. And a lot of times where superintendents or anyone in a new leadership role new organization, new entity, whatever, you come in and you've got to spend all this time digging in deep, scouring and exploring and assessing to try and determine what are the real issues. That had been done. And frankly, that was one of the things that attracted me to this role and this opportunity. It's like, well, you know, if y'all already agree that all these things are issues, and, you know, so the big challenge will be naming the few that we go after right now, and then which ones down the road. That's at least a step or two ahead of many situations. Folks were tired of losing.
Yes. Yes.
These babies, parents, community members, business owners, MDE, for all their, like, we're gonna take over this district, y'all are not doing right by children, blah, 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 blah. Everybody was tired of Jackson Public Schools losing.
Yeah.
And remembering days, years, decades when we were not losing.
Yes.
When we were at the top of the game and where people were poaching our folks all the time. I mean, that still happens.
Yeah, it does.
It does. It's just, you know, part of, and honestly, I don't think we give ourselves enough credit for that.
For sure.
The fact that so many of our folks will go on.
Guaranteed, year one. Teachers that would leave my building after being with us, they were Teachers of the Year. Year one. Wherever they went, year one, Teachers of the Year.
There you have it.
It's
a testament to the kind of development that we do of our professionals.
For sure.
But folks were tired of losing and ready to dig in and lock arms with smart folks and do the thing well. They were also tired of working next to somebody who was not getting it done and that foolishness blowing back on them. If any teacher who has been in a building working next to somebody who is just not about it, not managing their class, not supporting children in the ways that they need to, you know what it means to have to take on some of that responsibility.
Absolutely.
Periodically go into that room, like, what are y'all doing in here? This noise is traveling next door. Or having to have that class split up because they're cutting the fool over there and they know they can't do that in your classroom. So we had so many people here who were, it's like, we need some accountability.
Yes.
I'm the third grade teacher and all the focus is on me and reading and whatnot, but what did you say to the second grade teacher or the first grade or kindergarten or pre-K, right? If we can't have conversations with them, like, please miss me with these accountability conversations.
Get somebody else to do it.
Hey, hashtag.
Get somebody else to
talk
do it.
Talk to your friends. And good for them. It's unfair.
I want to pause there. You said good for them. A lot of leaders are not with that. A lot of leaders don't. It's like, go down the hall, do what I asked you to do. Don't worry about them. Mind your business.
I mean, so, you know, let me reel it in a little bit. So good for them for feeling that way and holding and having that stance. But at the end of the day, like, that's not excuse for you to then retire in your seat.
I'm with you.
Right? You still got to come with it. And as a leader and as a system, we have to address these other issues that don't set you up for success.
Yes.
Both of those have to be true. You continue to do your job.
Two truths can exist at the same time.
Don't sit down. Right? You keep doing your job, but we've got to do this too. But it was, and I think the last thing was having a board that was willing and ready to, like, they have supported us in ways that are just unreal. The investments, raising salaries, the investments in buildings, the demand that things get done quickly. And so that means, you know, our spending and fund balance and all these things, we've had to be flexible with these resources in order to get things done and to be responsive in the way that we need to and that people deserve in order to get things done.
I absolutely love that. Talking about, you know, you mentioned accountability. I also say accountability is love. You know, growing up in a single parent home, you know, we may not have had a lot of wealth, but we had a lot of structure.
For sure.
Now, growing up, I'm so grateful that my mother is still alive and I've been able to grow up and look back and be like, Mama, I really appreciate it. But, you know, at the time, it didn't feel like it. It just felt like that structure and that accountability, like, why are you doing this to me?
Right.
Now that I'm adult, I know it was done for me,
Right.
right? So even in a school system, accountability is love. So Jackson Public School District is a massive, I mean, like you said, it's a complex structure, right? Shared leadership is something that, and building capacity and leadership is something that we've also watched you do. What does that look like for you with the building the accountability piece, with your cabinet and with building level principles? Because that's where the magic is happening, in the classroom.
Yeah.
So what does that look like for you building capacity? Because you mentioned that, and I can attest, professional development and capacity building in JPS is its own robust beast.
Yeah.
And I've not seen many other systems. I'm so fortunate. I'm all over the United States in schools now, and I have not seen many school systems really intentionally provide professional development and training and capacity building. But what does that look like? What did that look like for you coming in and continuously building capacity with your leadership team? Because again, we're killing ourselves trying to do it alone.
Yeah.
We're like...
So, I mean, several things, and I'll pick up on that last thing you said, we're killing ourselves trying to do it alone.
Yeah.
I'll pick up on that first. And as awful as COVID was, there were some lessons. I think there's some lessons that we're still learning.
Yes, absolutely.
School districts absolutely cannot be all things to children and families. Yeah. We say that, but then we move forward with, school systems, we need you to do this.
Yes.
And schools, we need you to do that too, and do this other thing, and do the other thing. You calling me about something that happened on the weekend, it's like, what does that have to do with me?
Yeah.
As much as I care about that thing that happened, and that's awful, but what responsibility are you attaching to me and the schools for that? School systems cannot be all things to children and families. So that's one. And supporting the broader community and pitching in. Like what piece of this can we all lift to ensure that our young people are safe?
Yes.
And see themselves at promise. And
dream.
At
promise.
And dream.
And dream. That's what we talked about off camera, y'all, before we got started.
Dream.
At promise. Talking about at promise. You said at promise. Most people say at risk.
At risk.
Why do you say at promise? And listen.
I mean, we have to. All this conversation about what the young people are doing and wilding out and all this crime and stuff. First off, show me the data.
Yeah.
You say this, but is this true? It might be.
Might be.
Where's the data to back it up? And then let's keep it in perspective, folks. This is the 1%, maybe 2%. What are we saying about all these other young people who are making good choices all day, every day?
Yeah.
Or the bad choice is, maybe I was late to school, or maybe I didn't finish my homework, or I mouthed off to the teacher or to my mom or somebody, right? That was my bad choice. Not some of this other craziness that gets blown up on the news.
Yeah.
And when we don't take the time to lift up all of these scholars who are making good choices consistently and give all the attention to the ones we know from classroom management and whatnot, all the attention to the ones who are behaving badly, what does it say to the ones who are making good choices? It's dangerous. The reality is in the field of education, far fewer people are coming through college and whatnot seeking to be educators. We're seeing more and more people choosing education or falling into education as a second or third or whatever career, and falling in and out of education and that whole thing. It's part of our new reality.
Yeah.
So for any education system, certainly for an urban school system, you've got to be in the business of developing your people. Frankly, even if we did go through education programs and have these degrees in elementary or secondary education and educational leadership, you still got to be developing your people. What I found, a lot of people working really hard, a lot of people with lots of ideas, but fewer people with experience in driving an idea to action. And so I'll have people sitting at senior leader people sitting at the table with me and naming all the things that are problems or that need to be addressed. Okay, so what are we going to do? Because surely you didn't come here to give me that problem to fix. What are we going to do? You are the leader of that whole body of work.
Yeah.
Nobody here at this table knows that body of work better than you.
Yeah.
What is your recommendation? And what I demand of the team, strong recommendations. What is your strong recommendation? And in that, don't just snatch something out of the air in this moment.
Yeah.
You've been thinking about this work. You are most proximate to the work. You have an understanding of the other bodies of work that are tied to it, the resources that are required, the other things that we've asked of people. You have a good sense of what might be the best next step. What's your strong recommendation? Oh, you don't have one right now? Come back to me with that. And that has become, and folks even joke about it now. We know, what's the strong recommendation? That's right.
I love it.
Don't come in here with a bunch of I think and what's your strong recommendation?
Strong recommendation. What's your strong recommendation that's powerful?
And I may or may not agree with it, but then it's your job as the expert to push me and the rest of us on this. Because typically at that level, an instructional thing, an HR thing, an operations thing, like it's going to impact the whole.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
So just because it's an idea that you have and something that you're recommending, what is this going to mean for staffing?
Yeah.
What is this going to mean for space
Yes.
allocations? What is this going to mean for budgeting? Also action planning. That's, and it's not just, unique to Jackson,
Right.
for sure.
Right.
Action planning is not something that we see a lot of organizations doing and really focusing on getting better at that, and developing capacity around that. But you manage a whole body of work. I need you putting your thought to, and so what are the steps that need to be taken in order to make sure that body of work moves forward? And who's going to know better the nuances of that than you?
I just think that's so powerful. It does two things. The research is clear that in transformational school systems, there's a revolving door. People are in or out because it's just like you said. You coming in and you see we're pointing fingers. But there is something powerful for people to believe that you believe in them. How powerful is that? I have seen, right? People show up because you're demanding and you're asking at the same time. It's like you're showing up sharper, and they feel valued. And they contribute more. Like the research is crystal clear on that. If I feel like you see me, I'm gonna bring more to the table.
Bring it. Bring it. Like you are my early childhood guru.
Yeah.
You are my reading literacy guru.
Yes.
You are it.
Yes.
I need you to stand in your own authority and brilliance and knowledge and experience, and help the rest of us see what we don't see.
I love it.
And I'm going to have a million questions because that's how I operate.
Yes.
So answer the questions and keep
So
it moving.
what now what, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you a million questions because I feel like that's part of the work that I have to do. Interrogate recommendations and plans and things to try to get to a much tighter way forward.
I truly believe that is a boss move, if you will, for a transformational leader is perfecting their ability to ask the right questions. And I don't think enough of us do that. I think, you're in triage, right? And so it's like, let me fix. Here's the answer, instead of activating that power that's within your people.
But even naming, building the muscle for naming the things that need to be named at the table with the people who can help to address the thing.
Yeah.
Early on, we had this issue with folks having meetings after the meeting.
Parking lot meetings.
I blew that mess up.
How did you disrupt that behavior?
First, I named it.
Okay.
I named it. And there was a time or two where, I got texts during a meeting about something we were discussing. I didn't call the person out, but I named in that meeting, y'all, there's a trust thing. There's something that's going on here. It's sitting here in this meeting, I'm getting additional information about something. We can't operate like this.
Yeah.
You know, let's name it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
What more do I need to know about this?
Yeah.
Giving you every opportunity to say the thing that you wanted to text me about. Like, what is this, a fear thing with your colleagues?
Yeah.
Our relationships will withstand any of this. I promise you. Nobody's going to get voted off the island for naming an issue openly.
Yes.
You will get voted off the island, though, if you refuse to engage fully here.
I love it.
Yes. Those are the things that you'll get. I can't use you.
Yeah.
If you won't engage with your team members.
I can't use you
push
if you won't engage. Yeah. That's powerful.
What
People
benefit
how
does
do you
all
make
that
impact?
knowledge, all that experience, what benefit does that bring to us if you won't engage fully?
People are scared to have those type of courageous conversations. How does one start? How do you start? Because I mean, that's a muscle, okay?
Yeah.
And for those folks that have never been in the gym of the life of leadership, okay? Where do we start? Because we need some 1 pound weights.
Yeah.
We need to start there. So where do we start?
I mean, it's hard to do what you can't see, right? Or be what you can't see. And so I try to model it and name up front, hey, I said blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately, I was wrong, or I wasn't able to do that. And here's why. Yeah. And this is the pivot that I see us making. Yeah. So trying to be transparent about my own shortcomings and miscalculations and whatnot. And even times when, you know, my tone was off or whatever, be honest about all that. Yeah. Because you can best believe when it's your turn,
you're going to name it.
You're going to name that. You're going to name that. I've also tried to invite feedback openly.
Yeah.
That would allow
That's
people
a
to
boss
see.
Move.
Yeah. This doesn't take any, I'm still the superintendent.
Yeah.
You can give me feedback on the message or the you know, clarity of the message or this plan or whatever. You can give me feedback on all of that. Yeah. And honestly, your role, your job is to give me feedback on that. Yeah. So that's first. And then we've done some book studies.
And so you just mentioned book studies. Okay, so shameless plug, my book, Boss Moves, How to Cultivate a Thriving Culture and Decrease Stress, right? It's all about all the things.
Yeah.
One of the chapters we talk about, I called it the E trifecta, where we're talking about experiences, exposure, and expectation, being a game changer for students who are living in poverty, for students who, you know, have limited, you know, again, a LaQuanta who grew up in a single parent home, living in poverty, Crystal Springs, small town, all the things, right? You mentioned, I asked you, how was your spring break? You said, we just got back from Ghana. Talking about transformational leadership, what is it taking for you to get people to see the power of something like taking a group of students to Ghana to experience the world? And how do you see it having radically changed, even in your walk here, what you guys are doing as it relates, again, experiences, expectations, and exposure?
I, early on in my career, I talked about instructional, I talked about instruction. Now I'm talking more about learning experiences.
Yes.
Much broader.
Yes.
Conception of learning. Learning experiences, and those happen in the classroom, they happen in field trips, they happen in the cafeteria, on the playground, they happen in the transitions in the hallway, all those times. 5 years ago, we determined that you know, as we were looking at our strategic plan and this vision of our scholars being able to achieve globally, contribute locally, and be fulfilled individually, we need to do more to help young people see themselves in the world, position themselves in the big, big world. We're intentional about contribute locally, whether it's now as a student, maybe in college, but on in life. How do you remain rooted and grounded and supportive of home?
Yes.
By remaining here or by going wherever you go, but contributing in positive ways.
Yes.
But that was the impetus for this Global Citizenship Project. Funded by the Kellogg Foundation. It's an opportunity for scholars to apply, to go out into the world, to visit another continent, country.
Yes, yes.
Meet with scholars from over there.
Yeah.
Learn about their culture and their politics and social issues and, just all the things that teenagers will learn from one another. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
The kids will cry when it's time to leave.
Yes.
Never thought I'd be able to do this.
Yes.
Parents are emotional.
Yes.
My kid is leaving the country before I do.
Yeah.
It's just all the ways that the experience changes the scholar, but their community as well, their village as well.
Absolutely.
And so, maybe you'll go on and study abroad in college. Maybe you'll decide that you want to live abroad when you get out into the world.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't do any of those things. You remain here in your hometown and do whatever great things you do right here, but with this broader worldview.
You dream. We talked about that. You dream.
You have opened your world up.
Dreaming. Yes.
And so now you're a better person because of what you know and how you see yourself in the world.
Absolutely. One of the things you first mentioned when I asked, who is Errick Greene, you talked about, and you mentioned the word thrive. And absolutely, talking about legacy, absolutely cultivating a thriving culture is more than just, are my kids level 5 on state assessment? It's absolutely more and bigger and broader than that. So thank you for being willing, right? To make sure that all the systems and structures are in place and the resources, right? Because you just mentioned an outside support.
Yeah.
How do you get someone who's in transition, right? So an underperforming school district that's in transition to being a high performing, how do you encourage them? What's a way that they can get some support? Because teamwork makes the dream work. And we do need support to help take some children overseas, right? So what do you say to those leaders who they see the need for, but they like, where do I start?
Yeah. So, folks, parents, organizations, funders, businesses, you name it, they want to support a vision and a visionary.
Yes.
They want to attach themselves to something that has promise, that they can see has promise.
Yes.
And so to some degree, a part of that, how do you get there is making sure, write the vision, make it plain?
Write the vision, make it plain.
Right? Doing that in a way that people have a sense of what you're working towards. Yeah. Like I'm down to support an organization that, is focused on the thing that I'm passionate about.
Yes.
Sure. And my resourcing might be different from this one versus that one, but when you put it out there, people are more likely to buy in, to chip in.
Yes.
Or to talk about it in ways so that maybe they can't, but somebody they know.
Can, yeah.
Right? So the more your vision is known, it starts to reverberate, and there are more opportunities for folks to support it who may not have known anything about what you were trying to do. Also, you gotta put in the work. You gotta put in the work. There's gotta be some early wins, some early cleanup that people see.
Yeah.
We're teaching all day, every day. We're not playing these games, and we're not giving kids, 20 minutes to clean up at the end. No, we're still teaching.
Bell to bell.
Bell to bell.
Yes.
Bell to bell.
Yes, yes.
Right? And it's not all drill and kill.
Right.
Right?
Right.
These are learning experiences.
Right.
We're
Right.
enjoying
Right.
the learning experience, but it's all intentional. We're not wasting time here. On and on. There are all kinds of ways for us to start to show the broader public that we mean business. You know, the way we take care of our schools, right? And the way that we present some show of gratitude for those who have been supporting our schools for years and years, the parents, the church across the street, the neighborhood association, who every year do X, Y, or Z. When have we ever said thank you to them? Yeah. All of those sorts of things start to beget the greater, the larger shows of support, and it becomes sticky. Yeah. And you start to have that domino effect.
So shifting one more time before we get out of here, because this has been so amazing. I mentioned early on that nationwide schools are in a crunch. Public schools are, I mean, it's no secret, we're in a crunch. Staffing, enrollment, old buildings, the whole nine, right? I was reading an article yesterday around some systems in Georgia that are having to now figure out, we got to close some of these schools. Which ones? Oh my goodness. You got a couple of years up on the folks. You got a couple of years up on the folks. What's your advice to some of the folks around the United States who have been pushed in a corner and they, in the midst of transforming their districts, right? It's transformational leadership. They're having to make some tough decisions on which schools do I close? How do I close them? What's your advice to them?
Rarely do you find yourself in that situation overnight.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? It has been coming. To what degree is anybody signaling that this thing is coming? Yeah. Again, this was named before I even got here. Yeah. And it was still a few years before we did it. After I got here. So that's one. It shouldn't be an overnight, like, oh, we just realized we lost 10,000 babies and we need to close some schools. That's crazy. Yeah. Y'all knew that.
Name the thing.
Name it. Just name it. Yes. It doesn't mean that we've got to do the thing right now, but name it right now so that everybody can start getting their heads and hearts together and open to what the possibilities might be. As you talk about the possibilities, it can't just be about what the people will lose. Yeah. That's been a big learning for us, and I think for others who've closed schools around the country. Lots of my friends who are superintendents in other places who are having to do the same thing. Yes. The conversation cannot solely be about the school that's closing. Yes. Why are we closing this school? So that we can concentrate more of our dollars, our resources, our people in these other schools that remain. So what will be true here? We can trick out these other schools and make sure, make sure that these schools work, that the HVAC and all of that works. We can make sure that they've got these amazing science labs and library media centers. Yes. We can make sure that you got a teacher in every classroom.
Please and thank you.
Because with more schools and more classrooms, you're struggling to fill all those positions.
Name it.
With fewer positions, aren't you in a better position to fill them? Yeah. Yes, you are. Yeah. All of those sorts of things. It's just a better, and like we did, you're better positioned to pay your people more. If you're not investing in all these other buildings over here that you don't need. Oh, I can spend some of that money on the people, paying them better. So you gotta help folks to see what the new world order would be and how that would be better for them, even if they've got to travel a little farther to get to school. Yeah, you'll travel farther, but I promise you, when you get there,
it's gonna be a better experience.
I promise you,
better experience. A part of being a boss, right? I tell people it has nothing to do with your position. It's about your purpose. Nothing to do with your title. It's about your talent. But a big component of being a boss is showing up the realest, best, fiercely authentic version of yourself. How have you been able to do that? What do you encourage? How do you encourage someone who is struggling? You know, because imposter syndrome is real in leadership.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
So what's your last encouraging word to someone who's trying to figure out, how do I show up fiercely authentic in this leadership lane?
Who are your models?
Yeah.
There are leaders all over the place. Yeah. Great leaders.
Yeah.
All over the place.
Yeah.
They may not be in the same field
yes.
where you are.
Yes.
But great leaders. And to the extent that you can look to someone and see in them, like, that's a real leader. That's a real person. And I want to push on, I think there's some common thinking about what authenticity means, that you jump in the mic and tell all your daggone business. Like that ain't it.
That's not it.
That's
that ain't
else. It, right? Yeah. But if it means that, like, you dress how you dress, you wear your hair the way you wear your hair, that you are open about the fact that you love live music or blues music or whatever, fried chicken, whatever
with
it
on
is,
the side.
right? None of that. But again, I say, you teach people how to treat.
Yes.
You teach people how to engage with you.
Yes.
And to the extent that you present those as parts of you, while you're also out here trying to change the world and impact lives, like, people are they're required, they're pushed, challenged to engage with all of you, not just that piece of you that they value. No. I also eat fried chicken.
Yes.
I used to eat chitlins.
Yes.
Used to.
Yeah.
All of that's a part of, I think, how we help people to engage with us. And to the extent that you're afraid to talk about where you grew up and how you grew up, afraid to talk about your religious beliefs, not as as someone who's trying to disciple,
right, a convert,
and proselytize, others, but as this is what grounds me.
Yeah.
This is kind of how I show up in the world as a believer. All those things, as you present them in authentic ways, you are signaling to individuals what they can expect of you.
Yeah.
And what they can hold you accountable for. You said you believe in people. Mm-hmm. How do these decisions align with that?
Mm-hmm. Core values, yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for pushing me on that.
Yeah.
But it's, and it cuts both ways. When you put yourself out there, then, it invites people to hold you accountable for who you say you are.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad thing.
It's not. Accountability is love. Accountability is love. You have been so amazing. It has been my absolute joy.
Thank you for having me.
To have you here today on, y'all, this episode of Boss Moves, it's made my heart smile. Again, it's an honor to have someone, we talk about transformational leadership, but this man, Dr. Errick Greene, he truly embodies it. And we hope that through this episode, you learn just one thing that's going to help you step out a little bolder, a bit more optimistic, spontaneous, and substantial. Remember, it's always a great day to be you, the realest version of you. Never forget that. Be boss.